Hello everybody, I'm Danrvdtree2000, also known as Danrvdtree2000 on Xbox Live, and welcome to WWE Survivor Series predictions. So this Sundays we've got Raw, SmackDown, and NXT going at it as Survivor Series 2019. So yes indeed, we had the first matchup here that I've copied and pasted onto paint, and we've got a hell of a matchup here. We've got multiple triple threat matches, including this first good one that's going to be really good clash. Really good story build up with the NXT taking over Raw and SmackDown lately. We have the Undisputed Era's Roderick Strong as the North American champion, and we have the OC's United States champion AJ Styles, and we have the Intercontinental champion, and in this picture he's holding the old Intercontinental championship, because if you've watched SmackDown this past week, we saw a brand new Intercontinental Championship being brought into play. Whether there'll be a brand new United States Championship, we probably might do. We might have to wait and see. But so yes, now there's gonna be a different way of predicting things. Like, who do I think I'm gonna win in overall? Who do I want to win in overall? And who do I think is gonna win the matches? Who do I want to win the matches? Etc. Etc. When it comes to the elimination matches, there'll be predictions like, who do I think is gonna win? Who do I want is gonna to win? Who do I think is gonna get eliminated first? And who do I want to get eliminated first? Etc. Etc. Now, obviously, there are some matches where NXT have not revealed who they're gonna have, but I'll get to that. But we'll start off with this triple threat match here, and for you guys that have just tuned into my channel, this is how my WWE predictions go. I usually choose to who I think is going to win, and who I think is going to win is basically who WWE have chosen to booked to win, if you will. Then who I want to win is my own personal opinion. So starting off with this triple threat match, as the triple threat matches go, usually the rules are there are no disqualifications, there's no countouts. The only way to win is by pinfall and submission, and there are no eliminations in this triple threat matchup. The first person to get a pinfall or submission will win the matchup. Now there is whether I'm gonna put the win for NXT here, and who do I think is gonna win? I think it'll be AJ Styles. Who do I want to win? I want Roderick Strong to win, and therefore that is my three picks here. So NXT to get the overall win in this matchup. Who will he pin? I think it will probably must be Shinsuke Nakamura, but who do I think it'll be that gets the win? Raw. So I want NXT, but I think it'll be Raw. That's the same way with AJ Styles. I think he's going to end up pinning Roderick Strong, just because the NXT takeover is that middle brand, and they're probably going to make at least this matchup so that AJ Styles picks up the victory over some middle card NXT brand, because I don't think they'll want to make Shinsuke Nakamura the overall person that gets pinned or submitted. So yeah, that's my opinion for this first matchup. We've got the red, the yellow, and the blue representing each person. That is Raw, NXT, and SmackDown. I don't know, I might add a couple of logos afterwards, because to who's representing each brand. I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, I might do that when the actual review comes for the matchup itself for Survivor Series 2019. But we'll get to that. But first, let's go through the match card and we'll go to the next match. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's now time to predict the men's Survivor Series Elimination Tag Team match. And like I said, this year NXT will be taking part, which I still can't believe they did not build up who is going to be representing NXT here. It's the invisible team of NXT. At least put the NXT logo or with the mystery partners and the captain in front like they have done for the women, but I have no idea who the captain's going to be. So this, as you can clearly see, we got representing Raw, we have Kevin Owens, Ricochet, Seth Randy Orton, Drew McIntyre, and the captain of Team Raw, we have Seth freaking Rollins. On the blue brand on SmackDown, we have King Corbin, Ali, Shorty G, Braun Strowman, and the team captain Roman Reigns. Now, I have no sweet clue who's going to be on the SmackDown side of things, or NXT side of things, I'm sorry. But if I could make a prediction, this is who I'm going to say. There is one or two people that I'm going to put in here, so representing Team UK. But I reckon there'll be two people representing Team UK. So in my example here, it'll be Walter and Pete Dunne. Then the other one will be probably at this point in my. Don't take me wrong here. This is just my opinions. In fact, just like this, I'm gonna put up my predictions of who I think's gonna be representing Team NXT by copy and pasting them and their pictures into the little slots here. So excuse me for a minute, as we're gonna give you a little brief idea of who I think will be Team NXT as my prediction. Then we'll see at the end to see if I was right. So yeah, let's go on and I'll show you who I think will be on Team NXT and who will be the captain and whatever. So let's do this. Well, this is what I have come up with for my picks for the NXT Survivor Series team. This is just under my opinion of what is going to happen. Just because, okay, let's start with the team captain, which of course will either be one of these two that I have picked anyway. Will either be Finn Balor or Tommaso Ciampa. Now, we know that the champion, Adam Cole, is going to be defending his championship against somebody. I don't really watch NXT, so I don't know if any of these guys are going to be facing the champion, Adam Cole. Anyway, now I know that I think that Johnny Gargano is injured, but because I haven't seen him appear in this NXT takeover, so I could be wrong. I know that Tommaso Ciampa's got a War Games, and he's got Johnny Gargano on his team, but and I think he's also got Keith Lee and Matt Riddle on his team. So it could be, he could be the one that leads Team NXT. The reason I say he will be most likely to be the team captain, because ever since turning against Johnny Gargano, and he has been like the main guy to be working with, because Finn Balor, the reason I don't say Finn Balor, because he's only just recently rejoined NXT, and even though he was NXT and he's just rejoined, I don't think he'll be the leader. I think the leader would definitely be Tommaso Ciampa. Next, I chose two people that were part of this storyline, and that was Keith Lee and Matt Riddle. They attacked they attacked Sami Zayn a couple of weeks ago on SmackDown, and they also had Braun Strowman and Keith Lee at the last moments of SmackDown this past week on SmackDown. So I have a feeling that maybe Matt Riddle and Keith Lee will take part in this Survivor Series tag team match. I also have Finn Balor there, like I said, because he knows how to work with pretty much all of these guys that are in this matchup anyway. So throw Finn Balor in there as the maybe a surprise teammate at the end, making people think, oh my god, is he gonna, do you reckon he'll stick around and help NXT win? And considering that, if you look at if you actually physically look at, apart from one or two people, at the guys that are representing each brand here, they all have been on NXT for Raw and SmackDown. Think about Kevin Owens, he was on NXT. Ricochet was on NXT. Drew McIntyre returned to WWE as part of his NXT. Seth Rollins won the first ever NXT championship. The only person that was not on NXT was on OVW. And that was Randy Orton. That was the developmental system before NXT was. And if you look at the other side, you got Braun Strowman. He was part of the Wyatt family at one point. So in a way, he was NXT-ish. I know that Ali definitely was, and so was Roman, and so was Baron Corbin. I'm not too sure about Chad Gable. Chad Gable was. He was part of American Alpha. So yeah, all these guys who actually used to be part of NXT and are part of the main roster are trying to take down the company that they used to work for, which is quite good. Another person I put in there is, it might make perfect sense if Velveteen Dream was definitely part of this Survivor Series team, and the fact that he's such a charismatic superstar, he will have a really good wardrobe and he has a really good moveset. So if Tommaso Ciampa was the leader, I would definitely pick Velveteen Dream to be in my team at Survivor Series. So that is my predictions of who NXT are going to have on their side of things. Like I said, it'll be Keith Lee, Matt Riddle, who just recently joined NXT and they're kicking ass. Velveteen Dream has just been there for quite some time. He's been the North American champion. I think he's been the NXT champion. You got Finn Balor, who's just recently rejoined with NXT. So yeah, all these guys are the Raw, SmackDown, for this side of things, again, this is not a clarification, this is my own opinion, this is my own predictions, and if this was to be the matchup, I would say, who do I reckon will get eliminated first? I would say someone from NXT will get eliminated first, most likely probably Matt Riddle. I don't know but to win the whole match, I reckon it would be Team NXT. That's who I want to win that matchup. Who do I think will win? Again, if they've gone from anything in the past, Team Raw would probably most likely to win, with a SmackDown close second. Who would be the first one from Team Raw to be eliminated? Probably no one, because I reckon Raw would probably have it's a strong. But if I had to choose, it would be Kevin Owens or Ricochet. On Team SmackDown side, I think they're one of the first people to be eliminated. It would be funny to see King Corbin to be one of the first to go. Maybe next up with Ali and Shorty G. But the sole survivor, if there was to be in this matchup, will go for Braun Strowman. On SmackDown side, again, this is my own pick of scenario, which is a very good team, by the way. I'd say Tommaso Ciampa. And on Raw's side, it sounds really weird, but Drew McIntyre would be the sole survivor on that. So that is my predictions. Who do I think overall will get the victory in this matchup? Team Raw. Who do I want to win? Team NXT. So it's a good lineup for both Raw and SmackDown. We don't know who it's going to be for Team NXT, but that's my pick. That is my predictions of who I think will be on Team NXT. But we'll go on. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Team Raw, this is Team SmackDown, this is the Team NXT Survivor Series matchup, but it's the women's match this time. As we all know, it's the elimination matchup. As I made the prediction from last time, I made up the team of 5 people that from the men's team who are representing NXT. However, we know one person for Team NXT who's the captain of Team NXT, and that is Rhea Ripley. Now, there are 4 people that I have made a prediction for who's going to join her, and to me, it all makes perfect sense. I just gotta remember who they are. If you look from the top letters, we saw her dominate Carmella when the NXT was taking over, and she would be a powerful choice. As Bianca Belair on the top left there would be a really good choice for Rhea Ripley to have on her team. I also had the Coyote Katai on the other side, next to Bianca Belair. They also have Candice LeRae, which is a very good pick in my opinion, and Toni Storm. That is my 4 picks that I think will be on Team NXT to take on Team Raw, which consists of Charlotte, Natalya, Asuka, Kairi Sane, and Sarah Logan. I know it's a weird bunch, but hey, maybe Team Raw can win this time round. And Team SmackDown, which consists of the team captain Sasha Banks, Lacey Evans, Carmella, Dana Brooke, and Nikki Cross. So again, overall, I would like to see NXT win this one because, again, that's who I want to see overall win this matchup. But who do I think it will? Again, this time, if the men don't get on the SmackDown side, well, I think it'll be the women's SmackDown team. Just because they'll probably do 50-50 where Raw wins one, NXT wins one, and SmackDown wins one. This is just a matchup where I think the SmackDown women's team will win. Who will be eliminated first out of the picks that I've chosen? Again, it's just my own personal opinion and who I predict is going to be on the team. If I had to make a pick out of the NXT team that I've chosen, I reckon it'll be either Takira Katori, if that's always you spell her name, whatever the fucking name is, or Candice LeRae will be first eliminated from their team. From Raw's team, it'll be either the Kairi Sane or Sarah Logan to be eliminated first. And on SmackDown side of things, probably Carmella or Dana Brooke to be eliminated first. So that is my predictions there. The Soul Survivors, though, for NXT, probably Rhea Ripley would probably be the Soul Survivor for her team. For SmackDown, I reckon it could be one or two. It could be Nikki Cross, Lacey Evans, and Sasha, perhaps. And for the Raw Women's team, probably all of them. But if I had to choose at least one or two, probably Natalya and Charlotte Flair to be the Soul Survivors of their team. So yeah, so overall, I would like to see NXT, but I think it'll be Team SmackDown. So, like I said, the first eliminations of the night, I think will probably give either way. Will probably go to Team NXT, just because Raw and SmackDown are dominant main shows. So will be some really good back and forth eliminations. And again, if it goes by the triple threat tag team rules, 2 will start off in the ring and tagging everybody in and everything like that. Where eventually there'll probably be, there won't be no breakups, but there might be some moments where, yeah, I forgot it was elimination. Maybe the Team NXT will think smart and let Raw and SmackDown go at it, and maybe just tag in and say, hey, what the fuck, you know. There'll be a couple of roll-up pins in this matchup, I can guarantee it. The same can be said for the men's team, there always is, or a quick finisher here and there from each team. So Not only that, it's on my prediction who will be on the team. So my prediction of eliminations of the survivors, overall win, together. So hopefully I'll get that right. So I'll go on to the next match to find out what that match is, and we'll go on to that. Once again, we got Raw versus SmackDown versus NXT for Survivor Series 2019, and this is the first second champion versus champion match. Triple threat rules again. Because this is tag team, it most likely won't be the same as the triple threat matches. The triple threat match where with AJ Styles versus Roderick Strong versus Shinsuke Nakamura. The way I reckon, like any triple threat match with tag teams, for some fucking reason, have it of the case of, tag or two men start in the ring and they have to tag their own partner if they don't tag everyone else, stay outside the ring and all that type of thing. I am going to stick to my guns here. Again, I want to see NXT to come up top on Survivor Series on this night. However, for this match, I think it'll be the New Day that wins here, but I want NXT, but at the same time, because it's hard to say that I don't want the Viking Raiders to win. They are the more powerful team out of these three teams. We got the fun-loving New Day, the technical Undisputed Era, and you got the big guys in Ivar and Eric, the Viking Raiders. So it's a good choice of a triple threat match. Overall, you can just imagine Ivar versus Big E, or Eric versus Kofi Kingston, or Bobby Fish versus Kofi Kingston. There's all so many scenarios. It's not elimination, so my predictions here is who's going to get the pinfall. Over to the ones that I want to win, which is the Undisputed Era. I would like it to be Undisputed Era pitting the New Day, so that they, even though they didn't lose by tap out or submission or pinfall, therefore they're often defeated. They've been undefeated since winning the tag team titles, so that will protect them in a sense for the Viking Raiders. If was to go by the New Day winning, it'd probably be the midnight hour onto the NXT guys, again pinning them, protecting the Viking Raiders. So anything can happen in this triple threat match. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be a lot of heavy hitting and all that type of thing. So that's my predictions for this match. So let's just go on to the next match. Okay, now at Survivor Series, Adam Cole will be defending his NXT Championship. 1 second. And I'm back. Yes, Adam Cole will be defending his NXT Championship at Survivor Series. But before that happens, he'll be in a Wars Games match with the rest of the Undisputed Era, taking on Team Ciampa, like I said before. Also at War Games, we'll have a triple threat match where the winner of this matchup will face Adam Cole at Survivor Series for that matchup. So it will be Pete Dunne versus Killian Dane versus Damian Priest, which is the guy on the left. I knew the other two, I just needed to find out who the other guy was. No, I don't watch NXT that much, so I'm not really going to make predictions here who I think is going to win the triple threat match. But if I had to say, out of the three, I reckon and who I'd like to see face each other, it would be Adam Cole versus Pete Dunne. It would be a great matchup, and anyway, to make the prediction, who do I think will win the Survivor Series matchup between Adam Cole and the winner of this triple threat match? Well, it depends on the scenario. If it was if it ends up being Pete Dunne versus Adam Cole, Considering that Pete Dunne hasn't had a NXT championship in quite some time, and the last time he was an NXT champion, he was the NXT UK champion. He's known as the Bruiserweight, and they're both cruiserweights, so they can do a lot of stuff. Pete Dunne probably won't, but I'd say Adam Cole. Damian Priest, he looks like he can kick some ass. And again, I've not watched that many NXT matches with him in it. If it was into those two, again, he looks like he's a bad guy. I know that Pete Dunne is most likely going to be the good guy in this one. I don't know. I didn't watch NXT, so don't take my word for it. So yeah, I would like to say it probably would end up having Adam Cole win that matchup between those two. But if it's Killian Dane versus if it ends up being Adam Cole versus Killian Dane, he could probably destroy Adam Cole. He looks like an eating for lunch. So yeah, that's my 3 scenario there. Overall, I want Adam Cole to defeat any of those 3 overall, but that the first 3 that I just said, who I think is going to win, yeah, that's the scenarios I gave you. Like I said, I'll go through it again. If I want Adam Cole to win, whoever he wanted to beat, whoever ends up facing him at Survivor Series. But out of the 3 scenarios of who I think is going to win, if it was against Pete Dunne, it'll be Pete Dunne that wins. If it's against Damian Priest, again, I haven't seen him wrestle, so it'll be the first time me seeing him wrestle. I would say most likely Adam Cole in that section of that matchup, and if it's with if it's Killian Dane. So that's my prediction for that match. So that's that match out of the way. It will be an interesting match no matter who faces Adam Cole for the NXT Championship. And we'll go on to the next match. And the newly crowned Universal Champion, The Fiend, Bray Wyatt, will challenge Daniel Bryan at Survivor Series. And he's putting his Universal Championship on the line as well. He defeated Seth Rollins at WWE Crown Jewel in a Falls Count Anywhere match where the match cannot be stopped for any reason. Now, this is just a normal singles match, so it can be thrown out the window. The rules can be thrown out the window if possible, so therefore the fans cannot moan and groan because the champion's advantage is here. Now, we saw a glimpse of the old Daniel Bryan going back into the Yes movement when he got attacked by the Fiend on SmackDown. Now, why they're not having a triple threat match, which I think ought to be a really great triple threat match between Adam Cole, Brock Lesnar and The Fiend, I have no idea. But I suppose it's A, protect Brock Lesnar, B, protect The Fiend, and C, protect Adam Cole. So make them defend their championships instead. Which makes perfect sense. And this championship match is probably going to be The Fiend. As much as I want Daniel Bryan to have a championship around his waist, ever since losing the WWE Championship, I don't think we're going to have Daniel Bryan as champion yet. He's recently lost the WWE Championship at WrestleMania. Maybe give him another WrestleMania moment and he can win the championship again. I don't know, maybe. Well, we shall see. We shall see what happens at Survivor Series. So yeah, I think and I want The Fiend to win this matchup against Daniel Bryan. Sorry, Daniel Bryan, but you're just going to have to let him in and let him beat the shit out of you because that's exactly what's going to happen at Survivor Series. This prediction is short and sweet. Fiend, Bray Wyatt to win all the way. And we're going to go on to the next championship matchup, and I think it's the last matchup of the night. Now this matchup came around so weirdly. It all started on a Monday Night Raw when Rey Mysterio was just going to do a normal promo And this is just after the Friday night of Fox. Well, actually, this is before that, where for no earthly reason, no other than Brock Lesnar being Brock Lesnar, which I'm gonna get to Rey Mysterio and Brock Lesnar in a minute about being friends in real life, but they probably work matches in it. But anyway, we go. So this matchup is probably because Rey Mysterio was gonna talk on how his son Dominic wants to be a wrestler, and he stopped him from retiring and all that type of jazz. And then for some no earthly reason, Brock Lesnar came down and destroyed, not only destroyed Brock Lesnar, but his son Dominic, who was at ringside too. And he put Dominic in the hospital, and then but then a little bit later on, Rey Mysterio with his bad arm said, hey, after Brock Lesnar winning the championship the WWE Championship in 9 seconds and going to SmackDown, he had his Dominic's godfather, Cain Velasquez, who wanted to win the WWE Championship at Crown Jewel. And in his first match at Crown Jewel, which for some no earthly ideal reason, Cain Velasquez became Brock Lesnar's bitch. And then if we fast forward a little bit, and Rey Mysterio is back, and he gets a little bit of revenge after attacking Lesnar with a steel chair, who was going to attack Cain Velasquez after the matchup at Crown Jewel, and he takes out Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio comes back in, is attacking him with the chair. Then for Brock Lesnar becomes pissed because of that reason. He quits SmackDown and leaves SmackDown with no champion until the whole Crown Jewel event, meaning that they had a double champion, but then they had Bray Wyatt, who was the champ, so yeah, blah blah blah. That happened. So, SmackDown had 2 champions, Raw had no champion, so they had to have a champion, so Brock Lesnar quit at SmackDown and forced the WWE to sign him to Raw, which means he's now part of Raw, and he's the WWE champion, and the WWE Championship is now being defended on Raw, which means Rey Mysterio, because he is on Raw, Brock Lesnar went after him. But Mysterio outwitted him by whacking him in the leg and beating him up with not only the belt, but a steel pipe as well. But Brock Lesnar took out his rage on Dio Madden, and now we're down to Jerry Lawler and Vic Joseph have just random pairings each week on Raw now until Dio Madden comes back. So now we've got this WWE Championship match. Brock Lesnar will defend his championship against Rey Mysterio. At first, I thought this was going to be a squash match and a normal matchup, but now it's a no-holds-barred match. Mainly because maybe Brock Lesnar wants to beat the living shit out of Rey Mysterio, not with his bare hands, but other things that he can get his hands off and use Rey like a kidney stick by picking him up and beating the shit out of them. So who do I think is going to win this matchup, huh? Wee little Rey Mysterio that's about this big? Or someone like the Brock Lesnar who's about this big? Rey Mysterio. You're probably thinking, dang, that'd be crazy. Rey Mysterio hasn't won a WWE Championship in like years. And, there's no way that's going to happen. Brock Lesnar's going to destroy him. But let me tell you this. For the first time ever, maybe Brock Lesnar's going to be a transactional champion. Don't ask me why, but maybe I think this will be giving Rey Mysterio one last reign as WWE champion. And maybe have Brock Lesnar win the Royal Rumble and then face Rey Mysterio for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania. Or maybe have Dominic turn heel against his father and have him face him for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania. We don't know what's going to happen, but however, as much as I'd love to see Rey Mysterio get destroyed by Brock Lesnar by saying that I want him to win, for the first time ever I've never thought to say the words, I want Brock Lesnar to win. This whole new Brock Lesnar on daily pay-per-views, getting paid and to beat up little guys in 9 seconds. It's quite fun. Sorry to Kofi Kingston, but what did you think was going to happen to Kofi Kingston if he once goes against the Beast Brock Lesnar? It's not exactly someone like Samoa Joe or Roman Reigns where they could actually have a living chance to beat Brock Lesnar, or someone like even like Cain Velasquez, even though he destroyed Cain Velasquez in a matter of seconds. That's despite the point. We're going to have a very quick matchup regardless, and this will either be the first or main event of Survivor Series. Whether it will end up having another bullshit ending, I don't know. I am losing my voice, so I'm going to stop here. And that was my Survivor Series predictions. And let me know what you think is going to happen in Survivor Series this Sunday. Let me know in the comment section below. And I will see you at the Survivor Series reaction and review on Danrvdtree2000, also known as Danrvdtree2000 on Xbox Live. And until Survivor Series 2019 reaction and review, until then, bye-bye. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you want to watch the previous video, click on the video on the left. But if you want to watch the playlist, then click on the video on the right. Also, feel free to click subscribe by clicking on the Master Chief icon on the top.